Hello and welcome back to the old school Ironman. Last video I got my elite combat achievements done and built up some Slayer tasks, including doing Arma for the first time, and I eventually fell in love with the Chin method. And in order to ease myself into it, I have been catching chins ever since. My goal is going to be 10,000 chins caught. I think that's doable. That should get me up to about 90 hunter. I just got 85 and I'm about 2,000 chins in. And yeah, I'm just here in the private hunting grounds that you get rewarded for completing the Western Hard Diaries. And up against this western wall seems to be the best spot. There's like 3 spawns right by. So the chin spawner basically jumps right into the trap, so he's got something to do. There's the spawn point right there. And I am tick manipulating here with the Swamp Tar and Terramin. And that's honestly just because Hunter is already active, so I don't mind adding a little more activity to it. Like, I wouldn't tick manipulate, like, if Hunter was AFK to speed it up, but because, like, it's very click intensive already, like, making it more click intensive is not a big deal. Current XP rate is about 122k experience per hour. So that's about 450 chins caught. There's something rhythmic about Hunter that makes it kind of fun. And with this chin, that should be level 90 Hunter. Yeah, level 90 Hunter has been obtained. It's been a long 4 days. You can see the 9,800 red chins in my inventory, and I have been busy. I'm gonna keep chinning here until 10,000 total chins. Just for that round number, you gotta love the round number. But in terms of how long this took, when I'm actively playing, I seem to get somewhere between 450 to 500 red chins per hour. So you can roughly say I was here for like 20 to 25 hours of catching. And my rough math has 30 red chins per Arma kill. So that means I will be able to get 330 Arma kills out of this, which I'm hoping is going to be enough to get the Arma pieces I need from Masori. Arma should be the easiest God Wars to complete because it doesn't matter what item you get, and like duplicates are very valuable. Like, so for example, if I get the 3 BCPs like I did with Bandos, and instead with Arma, get 3 ACPs, then I already have all the Arma pieces I need for Masori. 10,000 chins have been caught, and for good measure, let's make this 10,001. The final tally is at 10,003, and I hope I don't have to come back here for more, and I can train 99 Hunter a different way. Interestingly enough, now if you look at my skills, I only have 2 skills left that are not base 90. First, I got Prayer, 2 levels away. I might have 89 bank, but pretty close to 90. And then Agility is 360k experience away. So the next time I need to make Stamina is definitely getting 90 Agility. So base 90s are very close away. I'm kind of shockingly close to max. Like, I didn't really realize it, but I'm shockingly close to max. 649 tasks done, and it's time to figure out what my next Konar task is going to be. I wonder if this counts the Lizardman Shamans, or whether the Lizardman Temple is a different area. According to the wiki, the Lizardman Temple is included in the mulch. So that works out well. I can go for the hammer on a Konar task. Konar task done, 300 points obtained. I finally committed myself to learning how to barrage Abbey Demons, and it's going well so far. It's not terribly difficult, but at the same time, it's definitely a little more advanced than, say, like, barraging Necreals or the like. I finally committed to learning how to barrage Abbey Demons, as it's really good with the amount of Abbey Demon tasks I'm getting from Duradel now, and it's a lot easier than I thought, but still, it's a step up from barraging Necreals or Dust Devils. Essentially, the idea is that you get both rooms of Abbey Demons stacked up together in the middle,
And to do that, you gotta be a little finicky. The south room will de-aggro if I go into the north room, and the north room will de-aggro if I go into the south room. I've marked the tiles where I can't go past with yellow squares. I would do the same if you're doing this yourself. I start each setup by tagging the south room with the blowpipe and bringing them to the middle. And at this point, I need to tag the north room, but if I hit any of the Abbey demons in the north room, there's a chance that they teleport you melee distance, in which case you will now be in the north room past those yellow tiles, and the south room Abbey demons will now de-aggro and go back to their spawn point. To get around that, I equip the trident with other gear that gives negative magic attack bonus, bringing my magic attack to negative 65. And with that, my magic attack is so low that my hit chance is actually 0, and I can't hit anything with the trident, so the Abbey demons will never teleport me into the north room. Once all the Abbey demons are stacked up, just hit them with smoke barrage. You want to make sure that you don't use ice spells, as it causes them to not restack themselves as they are frozen, and it's much better to have non-ice spells in this portion, and blood spells are just so expensive, so I just went with smoke spells.
Task complete. I consider this a successful task. I learned how to do it. And I'm now kind of mad at myself for, like, not learning this earlier on. Like, I'm learning this. That was my first time ever doing this, and I got 56k Slayer experience per hour and 32k prayer experience per hour. That's, like, more than double what I would get from just killing it with melee. The end of another Greater Demons task. I finished this whole task at Kree again, and did not pick up any uniques. I think that was my third Krill task, maybe the fourth. I'm not 100% sure, but I still have no uniques, which is kind of pretty insane. Because the chance of getting any one of these 4 items is 1 in 50.8. So the chance at 246 kills for me to, like, not have any of this is under 1%. Like, this is a pretty rare dry streak, but luckily it's at a place that doesn't really matter in the short term. These 3 items are all I don't really care for them. And then the Zamrakian Spear, because I got the blade on stab and I now have a fang, really is only useful to turn into a Dragon Hunter Lance, or if I want to do some Corp. And I'm definitely not doing Corp in the short term. I don't know why I never did this, but I completely forgot about extending all these tasks I was doing. For example, AVNCs, they are 120 to 200, but I can extend it to 200 to 250. That means less AVNC tasks. I just extended Greater Demons, and I'm also going to extend Abyssal Demons now that I know how to do that. Very first kill of the task, got myself a whip. Add it to the collection. Maybe one day this will be Death Coffers, but for now, it's just a collection in the bank. The whip stack is up to 4, and with the blade and the 110 whip I have, I don't think I'll ever run out. Keep hitting the damn axe table. I think that's my 7th dragon axe, and I only have 1 ring. A little unfortunate, but I'm hoping by the end of this task that I'll pick up a new ring. If I pick one, I would go for the archer's ring right now. Oh, there we go! I got a ring. It's the Seer's ring. Og. Now, really, there's only one more item to go, and that is the Archer's Ring that I need to get. This is not very useful right now, but it'll have uses in the future. First of all, it'll have use, Sai says here, with the Shadow, because the Shadow triples all the bonuses of the equipment you have on. So if I make this plus 12 magic attack, and that gets tripled, that's plus 36 from a ring slot. That's very powerful, even though it's not extra damage. And also, okay, with another Dragon Axe right after. And also, Desert Treasure 2 is coming out sometime soonish. And you'll be able to upgrade the Seer's Ring to a ring that provides 2% magic damage. So that might therefore be like a worthwhile switch. Worst case scenario, it'll be something I wear on burst tasks. Oh my goodness! Yes! Oh, hot damn, this has been a good task. Let's go. Oh, well, I guess I'm kind of done with DKs now. I don't know. I'll look at the collection log once I get these final 6 kills. And despite the no supplies in my inventory, no anti-poison, no prayer, I was able to just barely finish off the task, and let's get out of here. This is one of the best Slayer tasks I've had in quite a while. Looking at the collection log, I now have a Berserker ring, an Archer's ring, and a Seer's ring. And before that, I also picked up a Circle and a Mud Battle Staff, so I got a little bit of everything. But doing these DKs tasks, initially, I only came back here because of Desert Treasure 2. I wanted to prepare myself for the upgraded rings, both Archers and Seers. And, just because I planned ahead, I already have the Nightmare Zone points to imbue these rings. I got the points back when I was getting the Bofa, and I needed to get range levels. And we can quickly imbue the Archer's rings and the Seer's ring, doubling their stats. And that actually costs half as much as before because of the combat achievement level I have now. So if we look at the stats of the rings, the Seer's ring provides 12 magic attack and 12 magic defense, and the Archer's ring provides 8 range attack and 8 range defense. Currently, when I range camp, I use the Ring of Suffering for the 4 prayer bonus, but there might be some opportunities where I forego the prayer bonus to just use the Archer's ring. And then for the Seer's ring, I don't see myself using this, as almost every time you mage, you're either in a raid and the ring is a very low priority switch, or your mage accuracy doesn't matter, like you're doing something like bursting. So this is probably going to see no use until I get a shadow, and this will see some use if I feel like chugging some prayer potions. As an example, the Archer's ring at Lizardman Shamans is about 1.5% more DPS than the Ring of Suffering. So kind of just depends on what I want to get done on the day. One thing that's been pretty interesting as I've been doing Slayer lately is every task I kind of investigate whether the blade or fang is better. And honestly, in a surprisingly large amount of instances, the fang is better. It's just like the worms have 80 defense, and that's a low defense number. And even then, the Fang is still like a couple percent better, at least at max stats. Well, that is just about the perfect Konar task. I was just coming to Konar for my 10th task because I'm at 660, and I got a Hydra task. So I guess tomorrow, because it's currently 1 in the morning, I'm going to be doing my Hydra task. I went ahead and I looked at the DPS calculator to see if the Archer's ring was worth bringing over the Suffering ring, and it only provides 0.05 DPS, and basically because it only provides accuracy, and I'm already so accurate with the Twisted Bow on task with this high mage level, the extra accuracy is not a big deal. I think the Archer's ring is going to have a bigger impact when I'm doing things where I have like 50 and 60% accuracy rather than 90% accuracy. We got our first Hydra unique. The Hydra's Eye is 1/3 of the Brimstone ring. I think the Brimstone ring has kind of fallen out of favor recently. I don't know where I'll ever use it. I would just take the Light Bearer instead, but it is a collection log slot. Holy crap, that is a lot of cat and dines from 1 kill. We got 53 there. Damn, well, like, when you get the herb drops, like, it's super nice here. Like, by the end of the task, I should have a lot, and I mean a lot of herb lore XP banked from this. No shot! I got it! I got the Hydra Claw! Hot damn! Yo! That's huge! Alright, got a couple more kills, and the trip is done, and I have the Hydra Claw. So what does the Hydra Claw get used for? It gets used to make the Dragon Hunter Lance. But in order to make the Dragon Hunter Lance, you need to have a Zamorakian Spear. And I currently have 246 krill, do not have one. It's a 1 in 128 drop rate, so I am dry there, but again, my luck on this account is so good in the places where it matters, and in places where it doesn't matter, like this, where it's a relatively common drop, I'm not going to complain too hard. But I now have the Hydra Claw, which is one of the two main uniques that people go for here. It's really good at Olm, it's really good at Vorkath, and if they ever release any dragon content in the future, it's going to be really good there. I also have the Hydra Leather to get, which makes the best in slot Ferocious Gloves, and that's the other really good unique. Those are the two uniques I was going for on this grind for Hydra. If I get the Brimstone Ring by getting the Heart and the Fang, that's great, but if I have the Leather and the Claw, I might not continue to do Hydra tasks, but I got 80 more kills to go, and I am super motivated to get that done now. Let's get it. Player task complete. 178 hiders have been slain. Yeah, my cash stack was in the 18 mil beforehand, and now it's up to 24 mil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to Curdell Slayer. Not that I was like doing Kona or anything. I just did it for the 100 points, and I happened to get lucky for a Hydra task. But I'm gonna go back to Duradel, keep grinding out Duradel going forward, and hopefully I can get a Zami task and get that spear and then the lance made very shortly. All right, I've been doing some tobs with my friends. Let's see if I got the MVP here. I did not get the MVP here, but I didn't die, and this is going to be my first purple on kill count 39. I'm hoping for a Vernic, Scythe, or Sangstaff. Those are the three, so it's like a 70% chance of being something good. Oh my god! No way! No way! First purple Scythe! Holy shit. No, now I need to learn how to do all the 5-tick walks. Oh my god. I have a scythe. I have a scythe. I have a freaking scythe. That's the first purple scythe. I'm in shock right now. My mega rare luck is just too good. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Alright, now the scythe gets charged via these vials of blood, and I actually don't have enough blood runes to fully charge it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 100 charges in here. I can only put 44 charges in. So I consulted with the master, and he said 44 charges is enough for some short-term top. So I'm just going to put 44 in, use up all my blood runes, and now I think I just charge at well, and I can put 44 charges into the scythe. The scythe is a really cool weapon in the fact that it hits big enemies in a 3x, like enemies that are 3x3 or bigger. It'll hit them, and then it gives multiple hit splats. And the second hit splat does 50%, and the third hit splat does 25%. So all in all, like you can hit like an 80 with the scythe, which is so much higher than my previous max hit. The only problem is the accuracy is really low, but at Theater of Blood, we lower all the enemies down to 0 defense anyway. I've never used a scythe or even a 5-tick weapon at Theater of Blood before, so it's going to be a pretty tough learning curve, and counting ticks is probably my biggest weakness on old school PVM right now, and it's something I need to get better, so I think having a 5-tick weapon here will help with that. I'm definitely super excited to have this weapon. I definitely want to start jumping on the bandwagon of trying to get Jagex to make the scythe more useful in other content now that I have one. You know, you gotta be a little bit biased here. But currently, I think it's mostly just going to be a Theater of Blood weapon because every other piece of content I'm doing in the short term, the scythe is not a best in slot. Or if it is a best in slot, it's like barely a best in slot and probably not worth the blood runes and vials of blood. Like Chambers of Zarek, I can just use the Dragon Hunter Lance instead. But it's going to be really good for getting the rest of the drops at Theater of Blood, as now I will get more MVP points per room, which will lead to me getting a better drop rate. Also, just putting this out here, please do not judge my Theater of Blood skills right now from this clip. I promise I'm a lot better now. I was just getting used to the scythe. I did touch a little bit at the bank before we went back in, but the scythe is best on low defense targets that are weak to slash,
and our 3x3 are bigger. You'll see as I'm swinging the scythe and hitting the boss that I get 3 hit splats. The first hit splat is a normal hit, which my max is 46. The second swing is then half damage of that hit, and it's not like claws where it's like actually half of what you hit, it's just your like max hit is half. So it'll roll the damage independently, in this case between 0 and 23. And then the final hit splat is again cut in half, so in this case it's rolled between 0 and 11, as Jagex always rounds down in their calculations. And that rounding down nature makes even numbered max hits very important, as it counts as 2 max hits, and multipliers of 4 are the most important, as they count as 3 max hits. As an example, my current max hit is 80. If I were to go up to a base max hit of 47, that brings my overall max hit to 81, not a big increase. But if I got better gear to bring it up to 48 base max hit, that would make my overall max hit an 84, which is a much bigger increase over the 81 I had before. I'm looking forward to using the scythe and getting those MVP points at tops and getting the rest of the drops here.
And as with every new gear upgrade, I monumentally tag it into my gear tab, and I'm gonna need to reorganize this soon. I made this when leaf bladed battle axe was relevant. That's how long ago I made this. But the total bank value now is 2.9 bill. I'm approaching that 3 bill point, which is pretty crazy. Well, this is funny. I completely forgot that this was coming up. And I was AFKing hard while killing fires and died, but I got level 99 defense. Yeah, that's kind of a bozo way to get that, but whenever I die here, and honestly it happens a lot, all I do is teleport right back to Darkmire, loot my grave, put all the gear back on, put melee protect on, and then pick up all the potions off the ground, and from there, I'm good to go again. And, you gotta get the free 4 prayer experience. But then I can just DBA, drink my 2 super attacks, and we're good to go again. If you ever see a clip of me at Vires, and the amount of Draken's medallions in my inventory is the amount of times I've died -1 since I started the session. So I've now died 3 times this session. I'm just AFKing way too hard, but with 99 defense, I can swap all my combat stats now onto strength. Hot damn, we got ourselves an aviancy task. 210, I'm happy about the extension now, and I seem to get 5 kills on the task per task. So that should be 40 armor kills coming up, which gives us a good chance of hopefully picking up one of the armor pieces. So that's going to be the end of the first trip at Arma. I got myself, I think it was 10 kills, which is pretty nice. And my KC is up to 49. So I left myself with a little bit of prayer to get the kill count. And the cool part about this is the Arma KC starts to stack up. So next time I go through, it's only going to drain 30 off me because I have the Elite Diary. And that means I start with 19. And then if I get another 10 kill trip, that'll go all the way up to 69. And then it'll only go down to 39. So it stacks up and up and up. And kill trips really don't matter past that point. Once you have your 30 KC, you're going to come in here and bank to your heart's desire. There is level 97 Slayer obtained from a minion. 2 levels to go. Another piece of the ceremonial collection. I think that's 4 out of 5 pieces now. All I need left is the mask. And that is the end of the Avian Sea/Armadillo task. Hopefully I'll pick up an armor piece soon. I'm not going to complain just yet because the drop rate for getting any one of them is 1 in 127. So I basically got to double my KC. And I already have an Armadillo hilt, which I spooned on like 7 KC. And speaking of that Armadillo hilt, I actually never went ahead and made it, funnily enough. So I'm going to make the AGS. There it is. I've combined it together. Now I can wield the Armadillo God Sword. I don't think it has much practical use for me because it's kind of just a PKing weapon where it's one really big hit. But the BGS and the SGS are going to be a lot more relevant for me as I mostly care about PVM. Here we go, another God Wars dungeon task, this time 238 Greater Demons. So another purple. This one isn't for me, but it's for Mr. Corbin Brown over here. So let's see what he gets. Oh, they got the face guard. That is a tragic split. Oh well. There we go. I got the Zami Spear. That is the Dragon Hunter Lance complete. I think I will stay for a second one. Just because I can also use that for a Zamrakian Spear for core. And funnily enough, it was exactly on the double drop rate drop. The drop rate's 1 in 127. And I got it on kill 254. And yeah, there's the second spear. I went from no spears to 2 spears. And honestly, I'm thinking now, like the trip's almost over, so I might as well teleport. But I'm thinking I'm not going to come back. So I can talk here to Auto Gospel to turn a Zamrakian Spear into a Hasta, convert the Spear, and it's going to cost 300k. And the Zamrakian Spear in its own right is a pretty good stab weapon. 75 strength and 85 stab accuracy, and most people use that to get the Fang. But I had the blade, which I could use as a stab weapon, so I could skip the Hasta. And now that I have the Fang, the Hasta, I think legitimately has no use. So I can combine the Hydra Claw and the Zamrakian Hasta, create a Dragon Hunter Lance, do nice little alchemy. And, oh, that's funny. I don't have the skills to wield a Zamrakian Hasta, so I have to go do the Barbarian training. And we should now be able to, yep, we can now wield the Dragon Hunter Lance. So what does the Dragon Hunter Lance provide? Well, it's going to give us not only its base stats, which are essentially pretty much identical to the Hasta's base stats, but on top of that, it also provides plus 20% damage and accuracy against dragons and dragon-like creatures. So rune dragons, adamant dragons, Vorkath, blue dragons, basically any dragon or dragonkin, I now have the quote-unquote best in slot weapon. We're right back at God Wars Dungeon. 40-ish Kree kills coming up. AVNC task is complete. I got up to 112 kill count, so that's what, 31 plus 12. That's 43 Kriara kills, no drops. And it's time to get another task. Well, maybe that's what I get for skipping, but I'm going back to Arma. Another 204 AVNCs, which would be like 40 to 50 krill. Arma task done. Well, I still have 1 kill left. But I am out of prayer, so I need to get 1 more kill without that, and the easiest thing I can do is come back here, be able to get behind the wall and be safe, and kill one of these AVNCs to finish off the task. Task done. Got up to 155 Briara kills, so kill count is getting up there. And the task count is also getting up there at 670. Maybe it's just the scythe, but it's my first time getting the MVP. I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm slowly getting better on how to use the scythe, do all the cool little walks and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know, Top's a lot more fun with the scythe, let me just say that. That is 700. Yes, 700 Slayer tasks in a row, and I have 500 points gained, giving me a total of 1,900 Slayer points. And I think this is a nice, natural stopping point for our Slayer grind for now. I have a lot of points to skip some tasks in the future. with that Slayer task complete, I'll give a little bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing next time. I got a lot of herb seeds, I got some summer pies, and I'm doing a little bit of agility. Slayer wise, I got up to 11.4 million experience. So that's actually quite a bit of Slayer. I think I gained like over 2 million Slayer experience in this little Slayer jaunt, and probably the next time I come back to Slayer, I'll be grinding out the remainder of 97 and then all the way up to 99. But I'll catch you in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.